Hey everyone, D Loves Trains here. You joined me this morning in a slightly more peculiar video. Today we are on board a Class 800 GWR IET unit in a very peculiar location, as today we are in a Wisden junction, a cross siding. Here we are on an unelectrified line leading from Wisden junction to Acton as part of the West Coast Main Line South to Great Western Main Line crossover. This video is inspired by some of the recent events of the news over the past few days, as some GWR IETs were, I think, repositioned almost and sent to Euston instead of Paddington, which is why we are attempting today to recreate this set of events in Train Simulator. So here we have 800315 as our GWR unit today, and we will be taking this on the short journey from here to London Euston, which is scheduled to take about 10 minutes 8 seconds. We will be running under diesel power until the overhead lines come in, and then we'll pick up, when we pick up the pace, I'll change it over to electric. But for now, let's just jump in the cab and get moving.
GWS and AWS operations.
As this is the Armstrong Powerhouse pack, the startup procedure is slightly more convoluted than some of the others. But there's the diesel motors have started. You can just about hear them. I'm going to turn up the volume a bit actually. But now that we've passed this signal, because I inadvertently started the train just past this signal, so there aren't actually any signals until we're actually on the main line, so we'll just head straight off, I reckon. DRA is out, throttle is on, we are off. Or rather we should be. Okay, I'm just going to initiate the power now because I forgot to do that. It was almost like just idling, so the engines were only just on, but now the power is on, we should be able to start driving. Yep. And we're off. The diesel motors on these trains are slightly more powerful than I had anticipated. But I have now set the speed set going, so we can now proceed without me having to float in the cab watching the throttle, and then we can have a poke around this depot here. It's a fairly empty depot for a West Coast Main Line depot, because usually they're very busy. And I think there is a train coming actually. Unfortunately, this Wisden junction is so massive. It could be a train anywhere, because it's where the North London line crosses the West Coast Main Line, and then there's the Watford DC line. There's a whole host of trains that could be coming from any direction. Here's our IET passing just come past the 15 mile an hour limit. And to think that this happened in passenger service as well. Fortunately, there is no Armstrong Powerhouse thing for London Euston on the destination boards, so we'll just have to run them blank. But as soon as we can get a bit of power down, we'll be able to put the pantograph back up, because I can't really put the pantograph up at this speed, because if I take the throttle off it'll just stop moving. It's nice to do something slightly different. It's quite funny that the GWR trains get to Euston, because the builder, the man that built or helped to build the Great Western Railway, Isambard Kingdom Brunel, had actually anticipated for the entirety of the Great Western Railway to end up in Euston anyway, but he had a fallout with the owner of the West Coast Main Line, and then had to build London Paddington because he wouldn't let him in. As you can hear, the engines have picked up as the 110 mph speed limit jumps into place, which does mean that when we're about 50 miles an hour I'll do an at-speed power transfer. Got some lights on, it's a bit dark in here. Unfortunately, the headlights on the Armstrong Powerhouse packs are so very strange. They only work at like an hour before sunrise, no, an hour after sunrise and an hour before sunset, and then in the night time. It's very convoluted for no reason. This is one of the only scenarios I've actually made that work completely, as most of the ones that I make have some massive problems with them. Okay, so with the yellow circle now lit in that button, the electric mode is now switched on, which does mean the acceleration is far less compromised, and we can do the speed limit with slightly more ease. And I've also turned off the diesel motors completely now, so they aren't actually turned on. So we do have an AWS alarm that was just tripped, which is just because the speed limit, because we're going relatively quickly, and the speed limit has gone down. Anyway, so we have now picked up a bit of speed, which is a shame because we are about to have to slow down for the station, as the station's only in 3 miles in about 6 minutes, which means this one will be a relatively short one. I'm going to slow the unit down a fraction now as we come into these corners, because this is where it starts to get slower onto Primrose Hill, the disused Primrose Hill station. So it's a shame, because it's nice to see the GWR IETs running this part of the route. For some reason it suits them. I was hoping to see some AIs that generate, because I did try to make some generate, but it didn't seem to want to do that. You can just see the unit has disappeared there into the tunnel, and it's about to come out of the... Actually, this tunnel's curved and long, so we won't be able to see the end. But we are not too far now from Euston, so hopefully we'll be able to sightseeing. We are now on the Euston approach, and there's this large junction here. There is a London North Western Railways unit up there doing ridiculously fast, doing a ridiculously high speed, which is strange for a 350 unit. It's doing about 55 miles an hour. Can't imagine it'll go that fast for much longer, because I'm pretty sure that signal's red. Anyway, I think we'll be coming in on this line here, unless it sends us down and round. Okay, so we are heading in on line B, and this is where it starts to get a bit shaky, shall I say, because I don't usually come in this way. I usually go in on, I'm pointing at the screen, which isn't helpful, on this underpass which we're currently going over, so it's not usually that much of a mess, which is why I'm not very used to it. But we have been given here a single yellow aspect and the number 1, so we will be going into platform 1. As we've passed it, the signal has turned red. You can see some important London landmarks, including the lights of the BT Tower, and that's about it, as well as the London Euston station, which is just ahead of us. We will be going at a beautiful 24 miles an hour into the station. As we slowly drag in at 15 miles an hour, I'll try not to crash onto the end. I hold some special memories with platform 1, because that's where I went to see the Caledonian Sleeper. I haven't been on the sleeper train, although I would like to. Oh. Unfortunately, it's put this massive final destination reached bubble in the centre of the screen, and we haven't actually stopped yet. So I'm going to keep driving into the middle of the into the actual station, and then we'll do some polite ending, because this area looks nothing like this anymore, and I'm pretty sure that sign isn't there. Anyway, I digress. I really thought I was going to do it when I stopped. I thought it was going to put this bubble up in as soon as I stopped, not as soon as I breathed in the station, which is a shame, because I was really looking forward to this coming to a nice close, but unfortunately it didn't. Stop. Okay, I'm going to have to judge it with this tiny window of not greyed out area. That's very nice, I think. I don't think the doors are going to open, unfortunately. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, well, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like and subscribe, and do go out and find some confused GWR IETs in London Euston. There are a couple of extra dates where the Old Oak Common works on the Old Oak Common area will be continuing. I think there's the 7th of December is one of them, I think, but don't quote me on it. So there might be some other lost IETs around London over the next few days. But until then, I'd like to thank you again for watching this video, and until next time, have a nice week. Christmas is nearly coming, people. Christmas is nearly coming.